Hi all, welcome back to my channel. News stations are sharing out dramatic video after a SWAT team breached and basically destroyed the home next door to the home of missing couple Daniel and Stephanie Menard, after saying their next door neighbor is a person of interest in their disappearances. Daniel and Stephanie are both in their 70s, and they went missing on August 24th of 2024, along with their little dog Cuddles, after they were last seen at their home at a nudist ranch in Colton, California. Police have been searching for them, along with the couple's neighbors, but they still haven't found them. Dan and Stephanie's car was located about a half-mile down the road from their home, with the keys still in the ignition, and both of their phones and Stephanie's purse and walking cane were left in their home. Police in Colton held a press conference today, giving some information about the case, saying they received a tip about the couple's next-door neighbor being involved in their disappearance, but that they have not been able to locate the suspect or Daniel, Stephanie, or Cuddles.
Breaking news, the search for that elderly couple missing from a nudist ranch in Redlands, Dan and Stephanie Maynard, were last seen this weekend leaving their home.
Inland Empire reporter Leticia Waters there live. She is there live where there is some police activity happening right now. Leticia.
Well, just moments ago, I did speak with Redlands police spokesperson, and he's telling us that they suspect a case of foul play in the disappearance of Dan and Stephanie Menard. There is a heavy police presence here at the Olivedale Ranch, which is a nudist colony here in Redlands. They've been out here since this afternoon. A spokesperson that I mentioned that we spoke to from the Redlands Police Department told us that their officers are currently in a standoff with a person of interest in that couple's disappearance. Now, from Air 7 earlier, we saw what appeared to be SWAT officers gathering there at the ranch. I also was able to see a command unit with the Redlands Police Department and their forensics team coming in here. And just a moment ago, Riverside County Sheriffs also brought in their Bobcat entering the property that we've seen. Now, we've learned investigators returned to the area this morning on a follow-up to a tip that led them to the door of a person of interest. Now, according to police, that person of interest lives here at the ranch. It's unknown what his connection to the couple is, but just moments ago, I was able to view a Facebook post from a resident who is recording the standoff, and it appears that police have made contact with that suspect, but that he is currently refusing to come out of the home. Take a listen to what the Redlands spokesperson told us when we were able to speak with him just moments ago.
Obviously, they're missing. We suspect that there may have been foul play based on the information that we received, that there is a person who may have been involved in their disappearance.
Now, on Sunday, concerned friends reported the Menards missing to police. They were last seen leaving their home with their dog Cuddles. Now, their vehicle was found abandoned not far from their residence, and the couple's cell phones and the Menards' purse were found in their home as well. Friends told Eyewitness News that Stephanie Menard walked with a cane, which would have made it difficult for her to walk very far, and that her 79-year-old husband was diabetic and suffering from dementia. Now, we're told by police that they may have an update for us at 5 o'clock, and right now we are trying to gather more information about that suspect's or that person of interest's connection with the couple, and as soon as we have that information, we'll bring that to you. Reporting live here in Redlands, Leticia Waters, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, let's get back to the Redlands, where there is a large police presence near the home of an elderly couple who went missing over the weekend.
Gil Davis is above in Sky 5 with the details. Gil?
Well, Glenn and Lou, the Redlands SWAT team has made their move here on this house. This is in that Kiesel community here. It's actually the Olivedale Ranch community. You can see the battering ram connected to that SWAT vehicle is pushed into the front windows of this home here. It's a partially dirt road, partially paved road that's up a ways from the major streets here, but you can see the SWAT team here working with that battering ram to go in through that front window. It's unclear if there's anybody in the property right now. That we haven't heard anything about that, but they are definitely using that breaching tool there to at least get access to see that front of that property. I'll come out a little wider to show you that property. It's up the hill on the this would be the northeastern side of the community here, and there is a big police presence here down the hill where the command post is. But just in the last few minutes, they moved this battering ram right into position, took out that front metal screen that you see on the ground there on the bottom, and are continuing to work on that window to pull it out. So it's unclear if they are in communication with anybody inside of that home or not. But certainly Redlands SWAT team here making their move on this property here in that Kiesel community. That's the latest overhead up in Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Gil, just want to get a clarification. Is this the residence of the missing couple?
You know, we're not sure exactly which property it is. It is in the community where they lived, though. So it's definitely within the community here. Like I said, on the northeastern side of the community. Now they're moving the battering ram upwards, so it looks like they're happy with what they've done there. We'll see if they try to clear that vehicle, that SUV, out of the driveway to give them more access or not. He's going to start moving that vehicle now. So we'll see what they decide to do at this point. So far, no activity in the backyard or in the surrounding areas here, but they have this area completely shut down.
And Gil, you're very experienced. You've seen SWAT and standoffs and things that happen. Why the battering ram? Why not just knock on the door or go into the home? Do you think they've gotten intel that possibly someone's being held captive?
That could be. You know, they were really concerned, I think, with this piece of item, or this item, I should say, that was covering those windows. It looked like it was a metal awning maybe that was covering those windows that people might be able to see out of, but the police could not see into. So they definitely cleared that out. Now they're backing up. It's unclear what they're going to do at this point, but they wanted to clear that, I think. They wanted to clear that awning thing that was covering the windows to make sure that they had some visibility into that property.
Well, we can only surmise that this is not the actual home that the missing couple lives in, because as we saw in Shelby Nelson's report, a couple of neighbors and close friends actually have a key to their residence and had actually been inside already. So this is obviously, I can't say obviously, but this must be another home in that community.
Yeah, I don't believe this is the home. You know, unfortunately, the streets here, like I said, they're semi-paved, semi-dirt roads. They're not labeled, at least on our map system anyways. They're not given a name. So really, it's the 26,000 block of Kiesel Road is what the address comes back to. And that's part of the problem for us, is figuring out exactly where the couple's home is and according to where this property is.
So is it just Redlands SWAT that is on the scene right now?
It is. Let me come out real quick and show you the command post. There's quite a large presence. You can see that road is blocked off by several Redlands officers' vehicles here. Here's the where they are basing their vehicles, and here's the command post on the curb there. So they have this area here set up for that command post. It's not very far from the house that they're working on right now, but you can see how they have worked this particular road. They've gone up the road with that SWAT vehicle, and now they're right in front of this property. So it's unclear exactly how close this is to the actual couple's property.
Okay, once again, if you're just joining us, this is a situation where an elderly couple in Redlands in this community has been missing at least since Sunday. Shelby Nelson, who was there on the ground, reported earlier that a couple of neighbors that they usually go to church with, they had not heard from them. They happened to have a key to their place, and they went inside, and the woman who lived in the house, she has to walk with a cane because she has multiple sclerosis. Her cane was in the house. I believe she said the couple's cell phones were also in the house, but the couple and their dog were nowhere to be seen. So it's kind of a mystery what has happened to this couple. Obviously, I guess their vehicle was still there, and if she has MS and he has early dementia, as Shelby reported, then it's very unlikely that they would have walked out of their residence and then gone walking down the road. And, you know, it's also, as you can see, kind of a desert community, so and very hot. So it's a big mystery right now what exactly has happened to them.
Yeah, Dan and Stephanie Menard, both, one's 78, one is 73, and they were last seen on Saturday the 24th around 10 o'clock in the morning. And they also have a little dog, and that dog, when they went into the home, was also gone. So the couple and the dog have been missing since the 24th.
Ladies, thank you. I'm Micah Ullman along with Cher Calvin, watching a bizarre situation unfold here. This is a follow-up investigation, as we've been reporting a couple, Dan and Stephanie Menard, missing for the better part of a week at least. Neighbors reporting they did not show up for church, which they do, dare I say, religiously on a weekly basis. They did not show up, and law enforcement investigating now, they believe, foul play.
Right. They believe foul play here, and we've been watching for about 10 minutes here. Authorities with a battering ram going in here with a bulldozer into this house, the house of the Menards. Again, they went missing on Sunday. They did not show up to these normal activities, as Micah mentioned, going to church with neighbors, and then the neighbors discovered their car that was parked up the road with the key still in the ignition. And they found it very strange that the car would have been there. The Menards both have some disabilities. One has diabetes, the other one has trouble walking and was without her walker, or her cane rather. And so the neighbors went back to this house that we're looking at right now, that has been destroyed as part of this investigation. They went back to this house and they found Stephanie Menard's bag in the home. And the wallet and cell phone still in her bag, as well as all of the appliances on in the house, air conditioning, electricity, TV, you name it. And so this has been a very bizarre situation, and neighbors have been called authorities after they called several hospitals to see if the Menards were at a hospital, and they did not find them there, and then called authorities, now leading to this a few days later.
Yeah, to be sure, suspicious circumstances. Now we have the CHP along with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department investigating. Shelby Nelson is on the ground for us near the scene, not able to get too close, but certainly been following this for the last several days. Shelby, what do you know?
Yeah, sure, Micah. As you both said, one of the biggest developments that we've received so far is that police do suspect that foul play is involved. We're not really able to get much out of them right now. We asked them if they've been able to locate the couple, if they know their condition, but they couldn't answer that question. What I could tell you about, and what we've been talking about for these past few hours, is how heavy this law enforcement presence is out here right now. I'm going to step out so you can see what it looks like right behind us. Sure, Micah, as you said, I haven't been able to get as far. A few days ago, we were further up this road. This is Kiesel Road. As you can see, CHP has it blocked off, but this is the road that leads up to Olive Dell Ranch Nudist Resort. And again, that is where Stephanie and Dan Menard live. They're both in their 70s, and as we have been reporting, they're a very vulnerable couple because of their ailments. Dan suffers from dementia. He also has diabetes. Stephanie, on the other hand, has difficulty walking, and she can't leave the home or can't really go anywhere without her cane. And they also say she has multiple sclerosis. But regarding that cane, what neighbors had told us is that when they went into the home, they had found the cane in a bucket, which was weird because, again, she never really left the home without it or could walk anywhere without it. But rewinding back to when we were out here just a few days ago, what we're talking about in terms of, we always talk about missing persons cases, but what makes this bizarre is the fact that they are a very, they follow routine, is what their friends tell us, that they're very habitual. Every Sunday they go to church with their friends, and when they didn't show up, when Stephanie didn't call her friend John to go to church that morning, they kind of thought things were off. John went and knocked on their door. They didn't hear Cuddles, their dog, barking, which the dog always barks. He thought that was weird, but he thought maybe that they drove to the church by themselves. So eventually, him and Irene started driving to church. On their way though, half a mile down the road, they found this vehicle parked to the side of the road, and it happened to be Stephanie and Dan's vehicle off to the side of the road with the keys still in the ignition. Now, when they got to the church, Stephanie and Dan were not there. They thought that maybe they hitched a ride over there, but Stephanie and Dan weren't there. So then they came back. John and Dan are really good friends. They've been friends for years, and John was able to access their home. He opened the house. Irene and John went inside, and they found Stephanie's purse with the wallet inside. They found other items. The AC was on. The dog wasn't there. Again, the cane was still in the bucket, so really bizarre circumstances. And just to give you kind of a frame of reference, it looks like someone from Redlands PD just arrived to give us a statement, so we're going to be setting that up right now. But as I've been saying, it's a very bizarre situation, and Redlands PD earlier today told us that they had received a call, they had received information from witnesses about this, possible person who may be involved in this disappearance, and that's why they started to target that home. From my understanding, it's a home that's right below the Menards, and that's the home that we've been seeing SWAT teams kind of disassemble and ram through. But let's move over because we have our cameraman over here. We're going to start heading over so we can listen in from Redlands PD. You know what? I'm going to send it over to you guys so we can get that set up, and then we'll have an update from Redlands PD in a short second.
Inside the park. Not necessarily inside his residence. We were conducting an investigation this morning, just following up on the missing persons case, when we received information from a source that a subject who was involved in the couple's disappearance was in the park. So we immediately locked down the area and began an investigation to try to locate him and contact him. Currently, we have made entrance into his residence and are searching that using remote equipment.
Can you identify him? Do we know his age?
I don't have his name or age for you right now.
What about his relationship to the Menards?
He's their neighbor.
And he's their direct neighbor?
Right next door to the Menards, yes.
Okay, and kind of walk us through just what happened this morning, what time this all happened, and whether someone was calling in from the resort or...
Yeah, I don't have exact times. Redlands Police were on scene this morning doing follow-up, conducting a follow-up search of the area, knocking on doors to contact residents. And we received a phone call from somebody with information who said that they knew who the subject was who was involved in the disappearance of Dan and Stephanie Menard. At that point, we locked down the area and we began an investigation door to door to try to contact him, find him and contact him. We are currently at his residence. We've breached the residence and are conducting a remote search. I believe that he lives alone. Well, the information as far as the possibly foul play is that we received information from somebody who said that he was involved in the disappearance of the Menards. I can't speak to that. It's part of our investigation. As far as whether he's armed, we don't know.
The couple has been missing now for several days. Do you know their condition?
We don't know their location or their condition. We have had no contact with them. We've not located them. As you say, they've been missing. The last time they were seen was Saturday.
Was there any kind of cadaver dogs or any kind of things like that to possibly do a search for bodies?
We've had canine search. We've had canines search the premises, including cadaver dogs.
Did witnesses say anything about the interaction between this guy and the Menards prior to this?
I can't comment on their interaction. I don't have any information about any kind of gunfire or flight. You mean recently? Like in the last... What they probably heard was the battering ram breaching the residence. Other than the initial search on Sunday, I'm not aware of a search of their home. I only heard part of your question.
The surveillance video that you guys have, can that corroborate this person that you guys are looking for right
What surveillance video are you referring to? I can't confirm that. No. No. The latest details that we have are that they were last seen alive on Saturday. They were reported missing on Sunday. Their car was found just down the street from their residence. We've had no information about their location since then, except that we have learned that a subject who was possibly involved in their disappearance is here on the site. The fact that they've been missing for several days, that we have information that there's a subject that was involved in their disappearance, is reason enough to investigate the possibility of foul play.
Do you guys believe that the men are still alive?
We don't know.
And why did they ram the home if they're unsure the suspect is inside or where the couple is?
I'm sorry, why did we breach the home?
Yeah.
We obtained a search warrant to try to locate and contact the suspect. That's his home. So he was not responding to our efforts to have him come out. So, we don't know. There's a possibility he's inside. There's a possibility he's somewhere else on the property. They do. I don't know where their family lives. I know that the detectives have talked to family members since they were reported missing. The Olivedale Ranch is actually located in the city of Redlands. It's in an area that you have to go through Riverside County and the city of Colton to get to it. I'm not sure why it's identified as the city of Colton, but it's in the city of Redlands and it's Redlands police jurisdiction. I don't know if you're in the city of Redlands right now. I think this is Riverside County, but up the street is Redlands. Yeah.
Anything about their dog? Have you guys found them? Any indication that it's
No, we haven't located the couple or their dog, and we have no information about where they may be or what their condition is.
their vehicle was found about a half mile down the road. Do you know why that is? Do you think they drove down that way out of the vehicle?
I don't have that information right now. Okay? 7 o'clock? I'm sorry?
All right, we've been listening to Redlands police give a very, well, there's a very dramatic scene that he's described down there at that Redlands nudist ranch where they're still looking for that couple, Dan and Stephanie Menard, who have been missing since Saturday. They have SWAT who have, looked like they have really torn this guy's home up. This is a neighbor who is apparently a suspect or possible suspect, look at that, in the search for that missing couple. He may have had something to do with that.
There's certainly some major updates here. Police saying they got a phone call with info saying that they knew who was involved in the disappearance of the couple, which is what led police back out here to that home today.
And let's go up to our Desmond Shaw. He's in SkyCal with more on this investigation. What a mess we're looking at there, Des.
Yeah, absolutely, Pat and Chauncey. You can see what they believe is the person of interest home, which has been totally ripped apart here. It looks like they took off the garage door here, only to find that there was a lot of stuff in that garage. I mean, it looks like you might not have been able to walk in there. So I'll widen out and show you here. Redlands police obviously still on the scene, but it looks like they took the Bearcat out of the immediate vicinity. They're telling us that they believe that the suspect is in that home, but their condition is unknown, and they have not been able to make any contact with them. The home right to the left here that I highlight, this is the victim's home. So they believe that they lived right next door to the person of interest that they're still calling in all this. They have a massive presence here and a huge command center set up. I don't want to give away all of their tactical information, but they have a lot of equipment here. Obviously, some very heavy-duty stuff that is able to just, rip the front of this house off, but still no contact from that suspect. So very, very bizarre situation, but they have reason to believe that they are inside of this house, but just cannot make contact with that person. So the standoff still continues here. Pat and Chauncey.
All right, thanks for that, Desmond. We also understand that they had search dogs, including cadaver dogs, and they still have come up with nothing. So we'll get back to you within the hour. Thanks so much, Des.
This is all the information we've been given up to now about the search for the couple, their dog, and the person of interest in their case. I pray they find Daniel, Stephanie, and Cuddles safe soon. And if you pray, I hope you'll join me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on my next video.